Alright, welcome back guys. This is Minecraft video number 16. I'm building kind of a second home for myself over on this mountain, on the other side of my base, kind of the opposite side. I just figured it would look good over here, kind of, because it was a bit further away and a lot of my stuff is obviously pretty centered in the main area of my buildings. I already had this place kind of dug out, so it would be a little bit of a shorter video. The next few, it won't be as short as this normally, but I do like to have a bit of variety in the content length that I have. Most of them I try to have about half an hour, 25 minutes, just because I only post one of these Minecraft videos in the series a week. So I try to make them a little bit longer, but yeah, this video is a little bit short, just for the series. But yes, I was working on the base I wanted my second home to be kind of on top of this monster spawner. So I was building a little room for that, and then I'll have it should be 3 stories when I'm done with it. There'll be a kind of a middle floor, and then there'll be the house itself on the top, which that'll have 2 floors itself above ground, but below ground there'll be 2 other floors as well. This was the second floor, kind of almost like a little viewing spot, because I was going to turn the bottom into an experience farm, since I have that monster spawner down there. And the other thing I'll be working on later in this video is a sign that I'm going to have floating. I'm going to make it out of wool. It's going to be a canned fruit sign, just to kind of mark the world as my own. I'm going to have it over, because there's these 2 little islands that I have near my house, kind of by the farm. That's where I built, in the previous video, I built a bridge over to it. I'm going to put the sign kind of floating above that area because there's just not a lot going on over there, and I figured that it wouldn't be imposing on anything else. But here is the bottom floor of the second home, the monster spawner floor, pretty much done. Besides, I am going to add the actual contraption where you can sit at and get experience and loot and other things like that. And I had to make it small enough so that baby zombies wouldn't spawn, because it is a zombie spawner. And they can fit through 1 block gap, so I had to put slabs down so they wouldn't be able to. And as you can see, it was working already. On the second underground floor, above the monster spawner. I kept pretty much the build pretty consistent, just using spruce and the stone that I had. The only other resource I use is the birch logs at the bottom, but that's just kind of a base. The rest will be the spruce and the stone bricks that I have. And I always like putting ladders instead of staircases just because they take up less space. But if I ever have like a bigger build, I will probably do a staircase. But if I'm going to build one, it's going to look nice, so I just use ladders mostly. And then this was kind of the base for my second house that I was building right now. this is a pretty good view of what I had been working on so far, just from the perspective of that little area that I built. The walls were pretty much finished, and then I was just adding the roof. Just doing stone slabs because I can get a lot of them out of the bricks that I have, and I thought it would just look pretty nice. And I don't actually decorate or furnish the room at all in this episode, but just because I didn't have any ideas of what to do with it. But I might put another map room over here is what I think, because it is a little bit further away, and there's a different space that I can get from being over there that I wouldn't normally have back in my other house. The monster spawner was working pretty well. This was the second floor above ground that I was working on. I am going to put windows in eventually, but I just didn't have any in this episode, and I didn't want to go out and grab any and melt it and, take that time. But eventually I'll come back and add some windows to it. But that's pretty much what that's going to look like. I added some torches on top, and here's a view from a little bit further ways. This is where I'm going to build the canned fruit sign. This is where I was talking about, if you didn't know from earlier, my description. I didn't want it to be too big, but I figured this was a decent size. I am eventually going to add a lightning tower nearby, just to, because I have a lot of copper, and just to avert any lightning away from it, because it is a wool structure. So I'm going to put a lightning tower nearby, just in case any lightning storms come through, just so it doesn't burn down, because that would obviously be a big waste of time on my part. But that will be probably in a few episodes, but eventually, I'll get to building a lightning tower nearby. I did take a couple deaths during the making of this project, but it was definitely worth it, because I liked the finished result. wanted to make sure that it was pretty lit up so it would always be visible even in the dark. And for some reason I didn't get the footage of getting the last word in there, but this is what it looks like in the end. I think it turned out pretty good. That is it for this episode, but I hope you guys did enjoy, and thank you for watching.